Okay, I'm live. I was not sure if I was live on in the Facebook group, Energetic Ascension group, or I was live on my profile. So I was a little confused. So that's why I turned off the earlier video and reconnected again. Okay. So we have a minute. Am I audible? So I thought let me just get on line few minutes earlier to make sure that everything's working fine. Okay, it's 4. Yes, Adarsh. Okay. Namaskar, all of you. So it's a beautiful day in Bangalore today. It's been drizzling and raining. And today's topic, well, we'll talk about it soon. Okay, without spending another minute extra, let's get grounded and pray, and she'll start. Okay? Yes. All of you, close your eyes. Come in a state of stillness. Ground yourself to Mother Earth. All right. Let us invoke the blessings of the Supreme Consciousness for all the great Gurus, the Guru Consciousness, to bless us today so that we may receive the divine knowledge, divine wisdom, and the humility and the grace to assimilate it, to imbibe it, and to practically apply it in our lives so that we may become better dealing with life and ascend ourselves spiritually on the path to God and become one with all that is. In all humility, we express our gratitude to the Supreme Consciousness, to the Guru, for blessing us today, for bringing us all today together in this satsang, this holy space. We bow down to the Eternal One and to the eternal being that I am. So, today's topic is something which I had not thought I will be teaching any time. It's about the mind. Now, I've been teaching all this while, you have to transcend the mind, you have to go beyond the mind. But I realized that you all don't know even what mind is. How will you all transcend it then? At least you all need to have a basic understanding, because all of you are grappling so much with your lives, keep reaching out to me with some problem or the other. And I wanted you to know how you can tackle it. How does mind create reality? Everybody says that. But how does it happen, and what is mind then really? What is conscious mind? What is subconscious mind? What is superconscious mind? And how do you become aware of your thoughts? How do you become aware of what your thoughts are, and then how these thoughts are manifesting into the external reality, and how you can then tame it? See, everybody is thinking. It's not like a self-realized being does not think. Because if the mind is completely gone, then the self-realized being also cannot exist even in the physical body. The difference between a self-realized being and a person who's not realized or who's not in awareness is that the self-realized being uses the mind, the conscious mind, or is very aware of their thoughts. And because they're aware of the truth, they're aware of the absolute reality, they do not indulge in negative thinking. They do not give in to the fear frequency. They do not stress. They do not succumb to anxiety, worry. They use their mind to uplift their bhaktas, the world at large. And through their positive mindset, through their positive thinking, they create a positive vibration, which is what is keeping this world together, despite so much of chaos, despite so much of mayhem going on. And it's not the first time that we are facing this problem right now. So many wars have happened before, right? World War I, World War II, so many atrocities even before that. We as Indians have suffered so much of colonial rule by the Britishers, and we have suffered so much. But the world never came to a complete end. Of course, it goes through its own cycles, but it's not clearly audible. Okay, yeah, because the mic had gone down. Thank you. Okay, now is it audible? Please someone confirm. Am I audible now? I think it should be audible now. Okay, thank you. Shall I repeat all over again what I had spoken before, or shall I continue? I'll repeat. Okay, great. Okay, you should have then told me. All right, no problem. We'll repeat again. Okay, so today's topic, I'll start all over again as if it was just started. So we lost about 8 minutes, but that's okay, no worries. Time is an illusion. Okay, all right, continue. Okay. Confusion going on. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. See, this is what the mind does. We listen till colonial. Okay, yeah. So, we were also under the colonial rule for so long, right? But then, what has kept our country together? Especially India, right? Bharat, despite so many religion, despite so many, differences, unity and diversity, what keeps our nation together? It's the yogis and all those Mahatmas who are meditating and who send out that positive vibration. It's because of them. It's because of so much of spirituality being taught in our country. There are a lot of people who are aware of thoughts, and it's because of them. And you know, light is more powerful than darkness. It just requires one candle to light a dark room. That is the power of light. That is the power of positive thinking. If there are 10 people or 100 people who are thinking negative, but if there is one person who's thinking positive, that positive vibration, if that person has enough energy in their positive vibration, in their positive thinking, that positive vibration will override all the negativity being given out by those other people who are thinking negative. That is the power of positive thinking. That is what the self-realized gurus proactively indulge in or exercise. They use the mind to their advantage. So when you need a blessing, when you need something, you go to a sadhu or someone who you really have high reverence and you tell, please say this and I know it will be done. And your word has a power. Why? Why does the word of a self-realized being or a sadhu has power? Because they don't have any negativity inside them to counteract their positive thought or their positive intention that comes out through them. So their positive intention is very, very powerful because it manifests much faster. Without the mind, there is nothing. Nothing exists. This world exists, the whole creation exists because of mind. So if you don't understand this mind, then it becomes difficult. It becomes difficult to understand what does transcending the mind means then. Transcending mind is another, it's a state which comes on its own much later. So I realized that instead of giving the, the teaching of self-inquiry to you all and directly taking you out, I realized that I was skipping the basics. It was like you are all at an elementary level and I'm directly making you graduate. So when I also began to read Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi's self-inquiry book in the beginning, it didn't make any sense to me. And I spent substantial amount of time in understanding what this mind is all about. So once you understand the mind, then you become aware of its tendencies. And then as you become aware, you become more aware and your awareness increases. And then your awareness controls what thoughts get generated, what emotions you feel, and what vibration then you give out. Okay? So this is why it's important to understand what the mind is all about. The very reason why you are here today in this body is because of the mind. See, at the time of death, the physical body is the only thing which goes away. The astral body, which is the energy body, remains as it is. The mental body also remains as it is. The mind remains as it is. Your karmas, all your stories, of your so many past lives, and even this lifetime, all the memories, they're stored in the mind. This is the subconscious mind. Your desires, your fears, your experiences, all of that gets stored in the subconscious mind. Your skills. If in many lifetimes, if you have been, let's say, a warrior, okay, because it was the most common thing, and you were damn good at horse riding. In this lifetime, horse riding, you will do it in a jiffy. You'll just know how to maneuver. You will not have to learn much. I'm sure many of you have skills. We come across these prodigies, musical prodigies, and many kids, right? Genius. How is it possible? Because in their past life, they have mastered a certain skill, a certain hobby, or something that they were so passionate about, so much that it is strongly imprinted in their subconscious mind. And so, in the current life, it just comes up on its own without any effort, because it's already been mastered in a past life. So how is it possible without the presence of the mind? So the mind never dies. So long as the mind remains, and in this mind, so long as your desires, your personality, your tendencies, your identification with your body and your ego also survives, right? Ego it's all in the mind. So long as all of that remains, you'll keep coming back. And when we say liberation, moksha, is realizing this and becoming aware of the mind, of the thoughts, and coming in a state of awareness where you're just witnessing, when you're not identifying with the thoughts anymore, where the thoughts completely cease. That is final liberation. So then, the time of death of the physical body, there remains no energy body, there remains no mental body, there's nothing. It's just consciousness. You realize this while you're in the physical body, that you're pure consciousness. That is called self-realization. And then this consciousness is it merges with the supreme consciousness. That is moksha, that is liberation. Until that happens, you have to know how does this whole mind thing works. How your current reality has been generated, or how your life events are unfolding. So this is what the mind is all about, and this is how it plays an extremely important role in your existence. We believe, right, that the world is a creation or a Brahma's mind. And then we say, Aham Brahmasmi. Well, what does it mean that I am Brahma? Aham Brahmasmi. I am creator of my reality. So each one of you is individually creating your own reality. How? By choosing to become aware of whatever you're choosing. Basically, wherever your awareness is, depending on that, the thoughts get generated, and then your reality gets shaped up. Okay, so this was the premise on why I've started this. So I'm going to be now teaching in parts, okay, because it's a complex topic and I cannot take it in one video, otherwise it will go above your head. So today I'm going to take a certain portion, and subsequently I'll be teaching you how you should monitor and how you have to be more aware of your thoughts, and how you can, just by becoming aware, how can you control it, okay? So basically the whole objective is to think positively, to feel positively, and then create a positive, a feel-good reality which helps the collective. That's what the whole objective is. Okay. So, we have the conscious mind. Okay?
conscious mind is right now, you are listening to me. You're consciously aware. You have directed your conscious awareness right now, listening to my words, to my sentences. This is called, this is where the conscious mind comes into picture. Right? Conscious mind is where you're consciously choosing your awareness to be at a particular given point of time. It's like, okay, you'll understand what conscious mind and everything. Subconscious mind is then the deeper, it's on autopilot. It keeps you on, it's like an autopilot which is actually the driver of your life. Okay, which propels you further in life, and the subconscious mind is where the karmas are also stored. Your desires, your fears, your entire personality is controlled or is driven by the subconscious mind. All the samskaras, the vasanas, everything is the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is actually the powerful one. So when they say that 90% of your life is driven by subconscious mind, this is what it means. Okay, it's only the 10% which is within your conscious control. The subconscious is already something which has been holding all of your experiences and everything over all the lifetimes, and even this lifetime. So now let me give you a few examples wherein you will understand. So as a child, when you went to school first, so when you started writing A, B, C and all of those alphabets and 1, 2, 3 and the numericals and all. So in the beginning, you were making a conscious effort to learn each of those alphabets, to learn each of those numbers, right? So the child is taught, okay, A, first make this line, then here, then the next level, okay, then this is the small, ABCD. So you consciously make an effort in the kindergarten to learn. Once you have mastered it, where does this knowledge go? This goes into the subconscious. It becomes a part of your knowledge. It becomes a part of your mental body. Manomaya kosha. Okay, that is a Manomaya kosha. So now, once you have learned the alphabets, once you have learned the spellings and you have learned enough of the language, then you don't have to think. Today if I told you, write my name, you don't have to think how to spell, or if I tell you write your name, you don't have to think how you are going to spell. Like how will you spell A, or how will you write A, how will you write B, you don't have to think, it comes automatically. The moment I say A, you know what A is. The moment I say number 9, you know what 9 is. You don't have to think, right? Because already you have made a conscious effort and it's already there. The knowledge is already there. Now, if we picked up an illiterate person, that illiterate person doesn't know, because he is not or she is not being exposed to this particular language, or let me not just whatever, you're expecting them, let's say somebody who doesn't know English, somebody who studied in Hindi medium or some other regional language, and they will not be able to get it because they have not been taught, right? Similarly, driving. So when you start driving in the beginning, you're taught by the teacher how to hold the steering wheel and how to, what is the gear, what is the clutch, what is the accelerator and what is the brake and all of that, right? And then you're told, okay, how do you give indicator, and then you're taught about the signal and all the basics of the car. In the beginning, you're very consciously learning. And then how I'm sure a lot of you who are drivers, in the beginning you'll be like holding the steering wheel so stiffly because you're having this fear and you're still learning to balance like the wheel, And then you do it for enough time, and then you become so comfortable that you can take a phone and talk while, okay, shouldn't do that. But one becomes so comfortable in driving that it becomes just second nature. They don't have to think. Automatically you brake when you know you have to brake, or when you have to change the gear, or when you have to give an indicator, or when you have to slow down, or when you can speed. It's just happening on its own. Your mind can be like, gone anywhere else, conscious mind. Many people do that while driving. They think about work, or they think about family, or they think about some problem. But then they're driving at the same time. How does the driving happen? Who's doing the driving? The subconscious mind is doing the driving that time. While the conscious mind can then engage in whatever thinking, or listening to music, or maybe talking to someone over the phone, or Bluetooth, or whatever. Because the subconscious mind is trained. The subconscious mind has all the knowledge of the driving. Swimming. In the beginning, there's so much of fear, right? As a child, or at whatever age you're learning to swim. Getting into the water itself is scary. But once you get into the water and you know how to move your hands and your feet and how to balance, then it's no big deal. Then you can jump from a high level also once you have gained enough confidence and have learned the skills. But somebody who doesn't know swimming, and if you put them in the water, they will drown. So all these skills, once they are learned, the knowledge of it gets stored in the subconscious mind. And we, the old soul, so as to speak, the ones who have already gone through so many lifetimes and so many experiences, for them learning these skills in their current life is not so hard. A lot of you can relate to it, I'm sure. Like some things would be so easy, like a piece of cake. Like you will be like, I always knew how to do this. I feel like I was born to do this, right? Why? Because the knowledge is there in the subconscious mind, but you're not aware of it. And when consciously you're relearning it in this lifetime, the memories get triggered. They're there in the subconscious, and then from the subconscious they tend to then come up, and then you become aware of them. You realize that you're familiar with them. So this is the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is also what keeps the body working. So in yoga, we, there's something called as, just 1 minute, so that this, okay, yeah. There is something called as Yog Nidra. In Yog Nidra, we give a lot of affirmations. We relax the body completely, and the body goes in a complete state of relaxation, in which the conscious mind has come to a decent stillness, reasonable stillness, sometimes absolute stillness. And then we directly go into the subconscious, and we plant the affirmations, and they help. This is the same basis of hypnosis also. How does it work? What happens in hypnosis, in hypnotherapy? The person is made to relax completely. The conscious mind is completely relaxed. There is no thought process. There's nothing, no conscious thinking. And then the subconscious mind thoughts are accessed. There is a sort of a veil or a filter between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Okay, so something which you are not familiar with, there will be resistance from the subconscious mind. Now, this is where you need to pay attention. Relationships. A lot of times people tend to attract the same kind of repeat partners. And they say, I always end up with this terrible partner. I don't know why. Why? Because in your subconscious mind, you think that you deserve only this kind of a partner because of some conditioning, childhood conditioning, or maybe past life conditioning, or whatever may be the case. And until you heal and until you change this subconscious thought process, the subconscious will attract the same kind of experiences, the same kind of people in your reality repeatedly again and again. until you learn the lesson, until you realize, and consciously then decide to shift. So this is how subconscious mind is powerful. Those people who believe in abundance, who just have a very strong mindset related to abundance and money, they get it easy. They're born either in very rich family or they make a lot of money very easy, very early in life. We see some of the, or they will have some talent. We see some of these really youngsters, in no time, they are celebrities and they're making so much of money. Because somewhere in some past life, or they have mastered this abundance consciousness, this abundance strong mindset, that there's a lot of that I attract money easily. Similarly, a person who lives in poverty attracts poverty, may work very hard. This person who's in poverty may be 100 times more hardworking than the person who is attracting money. But the person who's working hard does not believe in the fact that money can come to me easily. Believes that I have to work very, very hard and then barely I can make this much money. I'm always in a bad luck. And the deep-rooted thought is related to worthiness. It is related to, I am not worthy of receiving this wealth or this abundance. I have to work very hard. I deserve to suffer. I deserve to live in misery. And sure enough, misery only will come to them. Poverty only will be there for them. Because subconscious mind is attracting that. People who are in bad relationships, again, same thing. Their heart chakra is closed to receive love. Because somewhere in their subconscious mind, they feel they are not worthy to be loved. They have deep-rooted inferiority complex. And they have this thought that I am not good enough to be loved by anyone. And sure enough, they will attract people who will use them, who will take advantage of them and then walk out. Also, at times they may come across someone who's ready to love them. But if they are not open to receiving that love, then that person will go away from their reality, or this person who has this block to receiving love will run away from this person who's giving them love, because their subconscious mind is rejecting, because it is like, oh, how is it possible? I'm not worthy of receiving love. So, you see how the subconscious mind is where the answers to your problems are. And once you understand, then you can shift. Then you can consciously shift. It's like this. Some people who have bad handwriting, they are taught to rewrite. They're asked to, in school also, teacher will yell at you to, write the A correctly, write the B correctly. So you can retrain the mind. What is this? NLP, I think. NLP it is called as? Atman and Subconscious? No, absolutely not. I'll take questions in the end, okay? No, please don't confuse. No, the soul is supreme most. It is not the subconscious mind. Of course, the mind arises from the soul, from the Atman. But it is, eventually it is all one, consciousness, okay? But the subconscious is, see, you as a soul cannot be changed. You're eternal light with a spark, the divine spark, and pure. The higher self is pure, is untainted. The higher self does not have any vasanas or anything. The higher self is just witnessing. It's just a witness of everything that is happening at this lower physical level. The subconscious mind has all the tendencies, has all the vasanas, has all the whatever, the tendencies, yes. The subconscious mind is where the experiences, the memories, the good, bad, all the memories are stored, all the skills are stored, all the experiences of lifetimes are stored. So, in NLP, this is what I believe they teach. So, what you do is you shift your subconscious through conscious awareness, repeated conscious awareness. What are affirmations? How do affirmations work? Affirmations work by constantly repeating, consciously repeating, and not repeating just like a parrot. You cannot repeat like 1,000 times just like a parrot, but keep on, and if you don't feel it, if you don't believe in it, it will not make any difference. If you say affirmation, positive statement, with complete awareness and with belief and faith in it, then your subconscious mind begins to shift. For example, if you keep saying, oh, I'm a very weak person, I just cannot do this, I'm so hopeless, no matter how much I try, I just cannot do it. I just cannot do it. Then comes a teacher who tells you, no, change your thought process. Say, I have inner strength, I am empowered, I am a powerful being, I can do this, it is possible, I am an empowered being, I am an empowered being, I have inner strength, I can do this. As you keep saying these affirmations, you are also feeling it. You are rewiring your energetic pathway, your mental energetic pathway. You are rewiring your subconscious mind. You are rewriting a file, rewriting a code. I'm not a very computer savvy person, but imagine replacing an old file. Yeah, that makes sense. Replacing an old file. Same name, but replacing it. An improved file. This file is, let's say, strength. Earlier it was like, I do not have strength. The file remains the same. Now you're rewriting it. You're rewriting the code. You're saving a new file now in that same folder. It's like, I have strength. I have the willpower. And then as you then rewrite this file or this thought in your subconscious, then that reflects in your physical reality also. And then you feel that way. It takes time for this shift to happen. Okay? Because we live in this physical world, and it depends on how much you believe and how much you work on yourself. I can't give a timeline. Ideally, it's believed that it takes roughly about 21 days to a month for a new, energetic pathway to form, replacing the old one. So you've got to do it dedicatedly. And as the thought shifts, then your external reality also begins to shift. You know those people who always attract bully, or in childhood, they were always bullied. So what was the thought that formed in their mind? I am a weakling. कोई भी आके मुझे पिटाई करके जाता है. I do not have the strength to fight back. Then what happens when these people grow up? They get bullies everywhere. These bullies are no more now coming and hitting them physically. They are now abusing them verbally, emotionally, mentally, at work, in relationships, kind of friends that they get. The bullying does not stop. The way of the bully changes, but the bullying always remains, because the basic thought that this person developed in childhood, and this is called as inner child, is that everybody bullies me because I am so weak. And this person, because of whatever thought process, maybe at home also this person was bullied by his parents, or not bullied, but had very strong dominating parents, So this child was not taught to fight back or to stand up for himself or herself. So this child grew up thinking that I am weak. Paradoxically, the learning for this person is to stand up for himself or herself and to fight back. And until they learn this, they'll keep attracting the same experience in their life. And once they realize that they have the inner strength, that they are empowered, and then they work consciously and change their subconscious thought process, interestingly, no more bullies will come to them. Because a lesson has been learned and the subconscious mind has been trained accordingly. So when I always keep teaching that every difficulty that you're facing in your life, dig deep within, dive deep within and find out what is it teaching you? What is it that you're meant to learn? These lessons are hard because these lessons learning is going against your subconscious conditioning. It's difficult, but not impossible. It's doable. Once you decide you got to do it, then you are the one who decides it. The mind is under your control. The mind exists because of you. You don't exist because of the mind. So this is how the subconscious mind works. It's very interesting, and as you understand, then get over your weaknesses, get over your negative tendencies, and you consciously work. This is called the purification. This is called inner purification. When we do all these practices, what is the aim of all these practices? It is eventually to purify the mind. Purify, get rid of all the negative tendencies. So let's go back to the example of the bullying. What happens when a person gets bullied? They feel pain, they feel anger, they feel hatred. They want to go and punch them back, but they feel weak, they feel helpless. Lowers the frequency. This is the tendency then one has to shift by realizing that I am strong, I have the inner strength to fight back anyone who comes my way, and then the bullies will not come anymore, the bad people will not come anymore to them. Then they will encounter good people, nice people who will respect them because they feel empowered within. They have inner strength within. See, the world perceives you as you perceive yourself. So if I perceive myself as a strong person, the world will perceive me as a strong person too. The world will perceive me as a strong woman. But if I perceive myself as a weakling, the world will also see me as a weakling. They'll see through me. So the universe is a mirror. How others are treating you is a reflection of what you think about yourself, what your subconscious mind is holding. They're giving you clues to work on yourself. So pay attention, pay attention. Instead of crying, instead of giving more now energy to something which is not right, take it as a clue to work on it, to understand what it is trying to teach you, what is it that this situation is trying to teach you, what is it that you need to work on, what is it that you need to shift within, so then your external reality also shifts. And when you take it in this way, then you become a better person. The personality improves over a period of time. So the bully then becomes empowered, attracts people who respects him or her. In return, he doesn't have to get angry, doesn't have to feel pain, doesn't have to hate these people, likes people. Why? Because they're respecting him or her. The frequency then raises. See how it is all connected? This is how you work on your frequency. When I keep talking about raise your frequency, what is it? It just means feeling good within, feeling positive within, radiating positivity, nurturing good thoughts, happy thoughts, or no thoughts. That's the best. In a no thought state, you're bliss. But that's the next stage to go. Before you go to that stage, you first work on the mind, get rid of the negative tendencies. You know, once I've read this, someone asked Buddha, what did you gain doing all this meditation and everything? So Buddha said, I did not gain anything, but I lost all my negative tendencies, like anger or envy or all those vices. And that's all that is needed. The moment these negative tendencies go, and naturally you become positive. Absence of negative is positive. So this is how you need to work on the mind, by becoming just aware. Until and unless you're not consciously aware of your thoughts, the thoughts then control your life. You have to be constantly aware of it. You just become aware of it, right? The thought subsides. Just with your awareness itself, your thoughts almost disappears. Like for example, some mistake happened. And I'm like, I'm an idiot. Immediately. What an idiot I am. How could I do this? So stupid of me. It's okay. These are some tendencies that almost all of us have it. But the trick is to immediately become aware and correct it. Then, the moment you catch yourself saying this, become aware and shrug it off. Like, it's okay, mistake happened, big deal. Just because one mistake happened does not make me stupid. Does not make me an idiot or whatever. On the contrary, what happens is we keep cursing ourselves again and again and again and again and again. And then, when we do this repeatedly, the subconscious holds this thought that I am stupid, that I am an idiot, or I am useless, or I cannot do this, or I keep procrastinating, or blah, 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 whatever. And then what happens is, because you hold this thought in your subconscious mind, you keep experiencing same kind of situations repeatedly where you keep making same mistakes again and again. And then we're like, see, I know I'm an idiot. Then you will tell your friend or your partner, whoever, I keep doing this again and again. See, I'm telling you, and it's like confirmation. You're giving confirmation again to your subconscious mind, so it gets endorsed. Yes, I cannot do anything right. What do I think about, Mr. Eckhart Tolle? Yes, I have read his Power of Now. And yes, what he talks about is, I'll come to that. Good book to read, definitely. It stills your mind. He tells you to be present in this very moment, which is the essence of spirituality, which is the essence of everything. Because your mind is, if your mind can be in this moment, it does not then think. The mind is either living in the past Good. Okay. The moment the mind, if it is, either it is thinking about the past, regretting, or regretting about some past, feeling guilty, ashamed, whatever, or sometimes even gloating. I was a great sports person back then. I was a great student. I was this, I was that. I used to earn so much. Or worrying about the future, stressing about the future, or planning. That's what everybody does. Planning. You know, I used to be a big planner. I used to have like 2-3 plans lined up. If plan A failed, then I have plan B ready, then I have plan C ready. Because I was a control freak. Because I wanted to control my reality and I just didn't want to be a failure. And so that's what most of the people do. And what happens is that you don't live in the moment. You're either living in the past or you're living in the future. But it's the present where life is happening. The past is gone. It's not coming back. The future has still not come. And who knows whether you will be still in this physical body to experience that future or not. So be in the moment. Enjoy this very moment. This is bliss. When you be in this present moment, that's the time the thoughts are just in the moment, or you cannot think negative. Like if you're in this very moment, it does not happen. You just experience bliss. So Eckhart Tolle and all the teachers, they teach the same thing. Be present, be in the moment, be in the moment. So all your awareness is now, in this very moment. And when you do this repeatedly, the mind that comes under your conscious control. Right now, as I'm talking to you, there's not really thinking happening in the back of my mind. There's no thinking only happening. There's no mind actually right now. I'm just talking spontaneously. I'm just very present in this moment. See, now I read the question of, what's her name? Devashni. And I started just answering that. And when I came on live, I just knew I had to talk about the mind. I didn't prepare any script, or I did not think what I'm going to talk or what. I just had a vague idea. Okay, today I'm going to talk to them about the mind and help them understand the basics. And that's it. And whatever things which have been learned over a period of time and whatever is there, it's just coming out. Whatever you need to hear today is just coming out spontaneously. Now imagine in this moment while I'm talking to you, if I was thinking about some past, or if I was worrying about what's going to happen next after an hour or two or tomorrow or 1 week later, can I talk to you? Yeah. So as Sridhar says, yes, I was going to come to that. So breath awareness meditation, Vipassana also, same thing, is a way to help you be in this present moment. That's what all the yogis teach. That's what pranayama is all about. That's what yoga asana is all about. See, you can do yoga asana simply doing it, doing Surya Namaskara, bending down, doing Pada Hastasana, and then Uttanasana, and then, Bhujangasana, and all of those. You can keep doing all those poses, right? Like many people do is power yoga. It's not going to give you any benefit. The real benefit of asana you get is when you hold the pose. And I teach this to my students all the time, that try to hold the pose for at least 30 seconds. And it's only when you hold the pose for about a minute, your mind tends to slow down. The thoughts tend to slow down. You become aware of your body. That is the whole purpose of doing asanas and doing pranayam. Simply doing anilom vilom, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, while the thoughts are going, like your mind is going here and there, here and there, here and there, here and there, all that, thinking about work, okay, what I'm going to do, tell my boss, or what this, or it won't help. You have to consciously keep trying to bring your awareness to your breath. In the beginning, it's difficult, I understand. And it's okay if the mind wanders here and there. Let it wander. But you have to consciously keep trying to bring, that is the whole purpose of doing these practices. The whole purpose of doing pranayam, the whole purpose of doing asanas and the pranayam and the meditation, all that is what? Is to help you become aware of who you are. It is to loosen the grip of the mind. And what is mind? Mind is a conglomeration of thoughts. When there are no thoughts, there is no mind. Who is the thinker? So long as the ego exists, the ego is needed, right, for the body to be there. But that ego is like of the healthy thing, not the ego wherein you identify with the body and with the mind, and which is detrimental. That is what we say, that you have to identify, you have to kill the ego. When a teacher says, when a guru says that kill the ego, it means that you realize that I'm not this name, I'm not this profession, I'm not this body, I'm not these thoughts, I'm not these emotions. And you dissociate. The ego falsely gives you this identification with all these aspects which are actually an illusion. So let's say in a past life, I was a shaman. I don't know if you know what a shaman is. Okay, forget about shaman. Maybe a warrior. Maybe I was a murderer. Okay, so let's say in a past life I was a murderer. Now this lifetime I am teaching you all right now, and I chose to be a doctor. Professionally, and then now I'm taken the role of a teacher who's teaching spirituality. So who should I identify with? The murderer that I was in a past life? Or this lifetime, a doctor which I was some time back, some years ago, medical doctor? Or the spiritual teacher that I am? In a past life I would have been maybe even a male, because the soul changes genders in different lifetimes. This lifetime I've chosen to come in this female body, to have this female experience. So what am I? A male, a female, what? The name changes in every lifetime. What the ego does is that in the existing current lifetime, it gives you this illusion, this false perception that you wrongly identify with this form, that my name is so and so, or I am so and so. No, you are not so and so, that is your name. I am. When we say I am, period. My gender is female. My name, birth name is Sophia. The birth of my physical body happened in a family. This is the name of the biological parents, and this is how you have to then come in this realization. This is then the dissociation with the lower ego, with the ego, just to put it simply. But then, of course, the ego, if I have to be in this body to teach you, to anchor the consciousness into this body, the ego still has to exist. Otherwise, then the person the being just takes samadhi and leaves the body at will. Happens. The very advanced yogis, they do that. Or they take jal samadhi, or they take samadhis in different manner, and that's it. That they just cannot relate to the body anymore, and they want to just leave. So by doing breath awareness meditation or all these practices, the whole idea is to make you aware of who you are. And then you become aware of the thoughts. And then you realize the thoughts as they conjure up. The negative thoughts. And then you brush them off. You keep them brushing them off. You just don't give any awareness to it. See, anything that exists is because of your awareness. The moment you take away your awareness, that thing does not exist anymore. So long as you give attention, you give energy, you give your awareness to a particular thought repeatedly, it will exist. But when you consciously take away your awareness, those thoughts then, there are no thoughts then. That is the whole point of doing these practices. It takes time. Again, that's also thought that it takes time. It depends. It depends on the grace of the Guru. It depends on the practices, how sincerely you are making an effort. You see, all that you can do is just make the effort. Then the results come to you as per the divine will, as per the grace of the Guru. That's all. How soon, that is all divine grace. You just keep doing what you have been asked to do. And that's all you have to do. So being in the moment, in the present moment, being in the now is powerful. Because you create only in the present moment. You can't create the past, right? The past has happened. The future has still not happened. You can only think in this moment. And there is only this moment. I don't want to go now to another thing wherein just as a statement I'll make it, but don't complicate yourself with this. In a higher dimension, time ceases to exist, or time exists in a different way, not in the way it is on earth. And it's very complicated. I can't really remember all the yugas, and how these comparisons are there, right? They're there in our holy books. Read them. They're comparing the time. What is half day of Brahma, and what is what is the night of Brahma, and what is the day of Brahma, and how it is compared with the cycles of creation and all the yugas and all the cycles and all those things. You understand how time is relevant. What I think over here, what we think over here, let's say 100 years, maybe not even a second elsewhere. So time is relevant. Even space. It's just the way the mind is conditioned to perceive and the earth reality. For the experiences and for the existence that is designed for earthlings on earth. So you just exist in this moment. You have to be continuously, the aim, the objective of every practice that you do, even your mantra japa. What is mantra japa? You put all your awareness on that mantra. You're being in the moment, right? If the thoughts come, you are, even in the mantra japa, it's taught to you that you should not pay attention to the thoughts. If they're coming, let them come, but you should keep your awareness only on the mantra japa. And then what happens? Why do you feel blissful? Why do you feel good when you do pranayama, when you do asanas, or when you do mantra japa, or any of these spiritual practices? Because you are being in this present moment. Not worrying about the future, not planning about the future. I want to accomplish this, I want to do that, I want to do this. No, you're not thinking even about the past. Ye kar lena tha, wo kar lena tha, ye blah blah blah. You're not, you're just being in this moment. Why do you feel peace or state of bliss, joy, whatever you want to call, in the presence of a self-realized master? Because they are in this, they're just being in this very moment. And that's where the bliss is. And when you stay in this moment, when you keep your awareness only in this present moment, in the now, then you are so aware that then you create positively your reality. You create your reality with absolute positive awareness. You are now not operating from the frequency of fear, but of faith and love, and knowing that I am eternal. There's no one to impress, no one to compete with. What has to happen will happen. What action needs to be taken will be taken through me as and when. You stay in this realization and you don't fuss about anything. there has been such a huge dramatic shift in the way I used to function before and now. Now I just be in this moment. I know that tomorrow will take care of itself. Yes, there are things, there are work to be done. It's not like they don't get done. They do get done. But I don't fuss about it. When it's meant to be done, whether the body automatically moves. People say, but you have to do action. Yes, there is a power which makes it happen. Whether it's consciously you want it or don't want it, your body will move, will do what needs to be done at that time. That effort will be made. Some of you, I'm sure you would have experienced it by now. Sometimes you will be like, oh, I have to do my practices. It may not happen, some reason or the other or something. And another time you'll be like, oh, I don't think I'll be able to do the practice, but it happens. That is also there. So how does that happen? Who is then, see, what I'm trying to say is that what needs to be done at a given point of time happens. When the body has to get up in the morning, it has to get up. It has to go and freshen up, it will freshen up. It has to do whatever it has to do. It has to do the work, it will do it, it will function. You just stop fussing about it. Previous day itself you start fussing about, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. You make a to-do list and you stress over it. It's okay to make a to-do list. It's okay to remind the mind that all these things need to be done. Be systematic, be organized. I'm not against that. The problem is when you start stressing over it in this moment about what you need to do tomorrow. When you don't even know if your eyes will open tomorrow morning, by all means you will, but I'm just saying. And then you leave your physical body with all that to-do list in your mind. Don't stress. It's okay to have a plan, it's okay to have an idea or to have a broad vision of your life or what you want to do, But don't stress over it. Keep faith, keep belief, it will happen. It's meant to be, it will be. That's it. Have faith in yourself, in the divine self. Have faith in the divine power and know that what effort needs to be made also will happen. For example, if there is an exam that you are supposed to appear for, and you are meant to pass that exam, you will be so charged up in studying for that exam. You will dedicatedly, you will study that subject, you will put in that effort, whatever effort needs to be done, it will just happen. You'll be just driven from inside, from within. And then you'll clear the exam. These are all my personal observations which I have made through awareness and I'm sharing with you. This is what I have observed so far, that what needs to be done just gets done. That's why I have stopped stressing over anything now. I don't even think about the past. I believe whatever happens for the best. Whatever is happening is also happening for the best. And when you be in this state, you're at peace. Every experience in your life is because you were meant to experience it. Every experience happens because it has a teaching. Don't take it as a suffering. Take it as a learning. Then it becomes better. You accept it then. If you look at it as a suffering, then you are stuck. Your energy is stuck over there and you're not gaining anything out of it. You're not even, see, there is no suffering. It's all about learning. It's all about experiencing. It's all about purification of the mind. So that first step is the purification of the mind through learning, and going through all kind of experiences. And then once your mind is purified, then it just becomes silent. impure mind cannot be silenced. An angry mind cannot be silenced. A stressed mind cannot be silenced. A worrisome mind cannot be silenced. Can it be? It's a happy mind which can be silenced because it's happy. It doesn't have to worry about anything. It's the mind which has learned to keep faith, which has learned to surrender, which has learned to accept everything as an experience, has learned that this life is a drama and that I'm just experiencing here, can be silenced. A calm mind can be silenced. Calm mind will be silenced automatically. So all these practices are to purify the mind so that eventually it becomes silent. And then it's in that state of silence, there is only bliss, stillness. Okay. So I covered the first half today. So I hope that you have understood now what is the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So be aware. This is the reason why you're doing all these practices. Okay, so consciously throughout the day, be aware of your thoughts. The negative thoughts, keep shrugging them off. Just keep shrugging them off, and that's good enough. If you can just keep shrugging off the negative thought, that itself is good enough. The moment you catch yourself saying, I'm stupid, become aware immediately. No, that's not true. Shrug it off. Keep erasing it in your mind. You can also give this command, delete this thought. You know, treat the mind like as if it's a software, and it is a software. These are all the files which are there in your mind, you know, like in the computer we have all this software, soft files, you know, which we store right in the computer. So these thoughts are nothing but files. So you can also give the command delete. Next time I will teach you how you can, you know, I've taught you all forgiveness meditation. Just one trick I'll share with you right now. In forgiveness meditation, you are doing everything comes to surface, everything comes to awareness. There is an easier way I've figured which we can do, and that is by deleting the memory itself. From where does forgiveness arise? It arises because there is a memory. If I were to erase your complete memory, if you have amnesia, like some people do, there is no memory, there is nothing to remember, there is no one to forgive, because everything is forgotten. Try this. I'll teach you, and I'm working on it. Like, you know, it's come as a guidance. Maybe the meditation will come out of it. You know, wherein simply delete. No need to visit those painful memories. No need to keep them. There is no reason to keep them. If those memories do not exist, then there is no one to forgive or seek forgiveness even from. You can still do this. Forgiveness meditation is really powerful, because I understand a lot of people have a problem in forgetting, in letting go. So this is the first step. For those of you, if you can, then delete. Try this option wherein you just give the command to your mind to delete painful memories. If they come up, as soon as they come up, become aware of your breath, go in a state of stillness, and then tell your mind, delete this memory. I do not wish to keep it. Withdraw your emotion from it. Simply withdraw, like, you know, let go. Tell your mind, let go. I release this emotion. I release this emotion from this experience. I let it go. And then tell the mind to delete it. And keep doing this. The memory will become hazy first. The details will be gone. They'll become blur. You will remember vaguely something happened, but you will forget the details, and then over a period of time, the entire memory will go away as if it never even happened. Okay. Yes, Dr. Anilji, yes, definitely. This will be kept as recorded. And today I have done one more thing. I used a screen recorder using my phone. Let's see, maybe I'll upload this on YouTube as well. So I came up with an idea. So the same session as it is will be uploaded on YouTube as well. Let me see how that goes. What is your opinion about dementia people? Dermatitis is dermatologist, right? So yeah, dermatitis I'm reading. Dementia people who have forgotten everything, is that a same state as that of no thought state? Are they in? No, you know, it's a very good question, but I really don't know what happens exactly in dementia. See, I believe that maybe their conscious memory, at the conscious level it's gone, but at the subconscious it's still prevailing. There's just a brain damage that happens. The mind is still there. The subconscious mind is still there. Okay, so it's just temporary. They have chosen this experience because of karma or the people who are connected to them. But I don't think it's like a complete erasure of the memory from the subconscious level. For that to happen, one has to consciously work on that through spiritual practices. This is what my understanding is. I believe this is what happens in dementia because there's a brain damage that happens. A certain part of the brain is damaged. I don't know now what are those areas. There are certain areas called as, there's a speech area and Broca's area, and I learned all that back when I was in MBBS days. Been 25 years now, more than that. Yeah, 25 years. Back then I studied. I don't really remember. There are certain areas in the brain which are responsible even for memory, which have been identified. I believe that in these cases, these areas are damaged and these people are not able to access it. But the mind doesn't really go away. See, what happens in dementia, I believe, is the hardware is damaged. Okay, the files are still there. It's like the laptop is not switching on. But somehow if you find the laptop to switch on, the hard drive is still there, right? The hard drive is not erased. So this is what happens. So they are not really in bliss. They are just in, like, blank. They are in dullness. There's a difference between being in bliss and being dull. Bliss is awareness, higher awareness, awareness of I am, awareness of the divine I am. And then there is a state of dullness where you're just blank. Okay, this is what the difference is. All right, all of you take good care of yourself. Any questions? You can answer that, and I don't think there are any questions today. Good. Okay, take care all of you. Namaskar, sending lots of love and blessings to all of you. Okay, bye.